Now on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, Rudy Giuliani is the latest co-defendant to surrender in the 2020 Georgia election interference investigation. We have the latest. And Victoria East High School is one of two high schools in the Crossroads that received threats to their campuses yesterday. Authorities' findings on the threats are ahead. Plus, Trump skipped out on the first GOP presidential debate yesterday. He sat down with Tucker Carlson and counter-programming to the debate and explained why he did not attend. We have the details.
Well, unfortunately, the high heat indices are going to be staying with us all the way through the weekend, although we do have a slight chance, about 20%, for some afternoon showers to hopefully cool things off a bit. But will we get a front on Tuesday? We'll talk about it all coming up in weather.
The Victoria Gators are hours away from kickoff and had a special celebration to get ready. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain. Today it's the 24th day of August 2023. The time is now 6:31 on your Thursday morning. And on this day in 2006, Pluto was demoted from planet to dwarf planet after the International Astronomical Union approved a reclassification of the solar system. I'm sure many of you remember, I grew up thinking, with Pluto as a planet, and then when it changed, it was a little bit of not that big of a deal. All right, let's go ahead and turn to First Word Storm Team meteorologist Scott Pitney. Scott.
Thank you, Carolina, and good morning if you're just joining us. Feels like temperature right now 76, dew point at 76, and when those temperatures are close together, there's always a chance for patchy fog, so be aware of that as you're heading out this morning. Humidity at 100%, and those winds very light out of the west-northwest at 3 miles per hour. We do have heat advisories mostly for the northeastern part, counties of the Crossroads and northern portions of the Crossroads, although those heat indices are going to be very high today, around 110, 112 degrees. So no matter where you are on the Crossroads, be mindful of that. Stay cool and stay hydrated. Temperatures right now 76 in Victoria, 79 along the coast there at Port O'Connor. Rockport checking in this morning at 78 degrees. Future temperatures, we're going to see mostly hundreds inland as you get closer to the coast. Some of those temperatures may not make it to 100 degrees, upper 90s. Even the upper 80s right along the coast, but everybody will see heat indexes well over 100. We're looking at that same pattern for Friday, and as we move into Saturday, more of the same with triple-digit temperatures further inland and mid to upper 90s, even upper 80s closer to the coast for the entire Crossroads. We did get some rain with Harold. Didn't make much of a difference with the drought monitor. The drought monitor will be updated today, but we still have extreme drought along the coast, severe drought along the middle of the Crossroads, and then exceptional drought up in the hill country. We'll take a look at the future track and that possibility of a front coming up in the next segment. Carolina, back to you.
Thank you, Scott. Former Trump advisor Rudy Giuliani has surrendered to authorities in Georgia. The former New York City mayor was booked at the Fulton County Jail on racketeering charges, claiming he meddled in the state's 2020 presidential election. A judge signed off on a $150,000 bond agreement. Giuliani is one of 9 defendants who have turned themselves in to the Fulton County authorities. A suspect is dead after a shootout with 7 deputies in a Pittsburgh neighborhood Wednesday. Authorities say William Hardison Sr. was pronounced dead just after 5 p.m., nearly 7 hours after an intense gun battle started when deputies were serving a court-ordered eviction notice. Witnesses say they heard hundreds of gunshots when deputy was hurt while trying to take cover while the suspect was shooting. Authorities say the suspect was given the opportunity to surrender, but all efforts were unsuccessful. Attorneys challenging and defending a Biden administration immigration policy will argue their case before District Judge Drew Tipton today in a Victoria County court. The policy allows migrants to temporarily live and work in the U.S. for up to 2 years. Under the policy, migrants must go through an online application process, have a financial sponsor, and undergo background and security checks. There was a heavy police presence at Victoria East High School yesterday after authorities say someone made a threat on the campus. The threat was reportedly made by phone just before 2 o'clock. Turns out it was all a hoax, and Victoria ISD reported there was no threat to anyone or the school, but out of an abundance of caution, law enforcement was there.
Victoria 911 received a call of a possible suspect on campus that supposedly had a rifle and a pipe bomb with him. A little bit of investigation into it. This appears to be a number that's been used before. It's kind of a spoof number. Several months ago, as well as in possibly today in another county. I visited with the Texas Rangers as well, and they're going to kind of somewhat assist with this investigation.
Authorities say all students and staff are safe. The school resumed normal dismissal at 2:50 p.m. Goliad High School was evacuated yesterday for what administrators are calling a threat that manifested outside our country. The district said a threat did not exist in the building and resumed school as normal. They said all students and staff were secure. Former President Donald Trump opted to not participate in Wednesday night's GOP debate and instead aired an interview with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson. The pre-recorded interview served as counter-programming to the debate, where Trump discussed his choice to pass on the debate, stating he didn't see the point in getting harassed by the other candidates when he's leading by so much in the polls. Trump also took shots at the other candidates, saying that some of them shouldn't be running for president, including Asa Hutchinson, referring to the previous governor of Arkansas as, quote, Ada, saying that he would get in trouble if he explained the nickname. Trump is also expected to surrender to Fulton County authorities today. The former president will be released from custody in Georgia under an already agreed upon set of conditions, including a $200,000 bond. And here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. Former Calhoun County Judge Michael Pfeiffer died from cancer complications Monday. He served as a judge from 2002 to 2018. And the Calhoun County ISD Board of Trustees approved the extension of the superintendent's contract during a meeting on August 14th. And Port Lavaca Clinic. A Port Lavaca clinic received a certificate of excellence after an inspection. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:37 on your Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. A man accused of assaulting a 77-year-old man Monday night is in police custody.
Former President Trump now hours away from surrendering in the Georgia election interference case. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with the details from Atlanta.
That low is the remnants of Tropical Storm Harold, bringing some much needed rain to the southwestern United States. We're more interested in this high pressure system, and will it move out of the way to allow a front to come down to give us some much needed rain? We'll talk about it coming up next. And welcome back. I talked about the possibility of a front early next week, so let's take a look at that on Future Tracker. This high pressure system is going to kind of move around over toward the east, and there's that front. That's Saturday at 8 p.m. And notice there's rain along the coast. There's a 20% chance of rain, and that's because where the high pressure is, we're on a little bit of a weaker part of the edge of that high pressure. So that's what's giving us a chance of rain. This is Sunday at 9 o'clock, that front getting closer to us. Most of the rain you see on this model anyway staying north of us, but we still have a 20% chance of rain for Sunday. Then as we get to Monday, this is Monday at 5 o'clock. Notice a little more widespread coverage of rain all through the state of Texas, and that includes us. Our rain chances bumping up to 30% on Monday, and then by Tuesday, that front is almost on top of us. Not much rain showing up here, but there is going to be a 40% chance of rain, and then by Wednesday, we expect the front to fizzle out. We'll take a look at the tropics and marine weather, all coming up in the next segment. Carolina?
Thank you, Scott. The Victoria Gators got the juices pumping for their season opener today. Sports Director Gino Perez has the details in sports.
The Victoria Gators are ready after its pep rally that they had yesterday. The first-year program got into the spirit with a little dancing, cheering, and motivational speeches. The team was joined by family, friends, and other students. The celebration took place at the Crossroads Christian School, and the Gators are a new program that began in March. Gators head coach Mark Chavez said his team has put in the work in this hot weather and can't wait to get on the field against the Brooks Academy Bears.
You know, we're pretty excited about it. I think we match up well against this team. We're excited to show what we have. We've been through a couple scrimmages already. We've kind of got the boys where we want them as far as conditioning goes and as far as placement goes. With the Bears, we kind of run a little bit of a sweep offense side to side. They got a couple of fast guys on defense, and so we're really looking forward to matching up well against them.
The Gators have 15 athletes on the team and will look to most of them to play both sides of the ball, and that game is at 7 o'clock. That's your 25 Sports Now.
Thank you, Gino. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Now to Atlanta, where former President Donald Trump is expected to surrender to authorities in the Georgia election interference case. Many of Trump's 18 co-defendants have already reported to the Fulton County Jail to be arrested and booked, including his former lawyer, Rudy Giuliani.
This morning, the 45th President of the United States is set to turn himself in to Georgia's Fulton County Jail, where they will record his height and weight, fingerprint him, and take his mugshot. Days before his surrender, Donald Trump sat for an interview with former Fox primetime host Tucker Carlson. Trump, now the 2024 Republican presidential frontrunner, telling Carlson his legal troubles are only boosting his voter support and slamming Fulton County's top prosecutor, Fani Willis, who handed Trump his 4th criminal indictment this year.
The people see it like this horrible district attorney. She said, basically, I don't have any right to challenge an election.
Trump and his 18 co-defendants now face a Friday deadline to surrender on charges of racketeering and conspiracy in an alleged effort to overturn Trump's 2020 Georgia election defeat. A number of them have already been booked, including former Trump attorneys Sidney Powell, Jenna Ellis, and Rudy Giuliani, who actively spread false claims of election fraud after the 2020 election. Giuliani swarmed outside the jail Wednesday.
I'm being prosecuted for defending an American citizen.
Giuliani released on a $150,000 bond. Meanwhile, Trump's former White House chief of staff, Mark Meadows, now determining his next move after a federal judge ruled Meadows still needed to present himself for booking by noon on Friday. The judge has not yet ruled on his request to move his case into federal court. And Fulton County DA Willis is standing by that noon Friday surrender deadline, warning that if any co-defendant has not shown by that time, she's filing an arrest warrant. Justin Finch, ABC News, Atlanta.
That leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We ask you, will all 19 defendants turn themselves in by Friday? Okay, let's take a look. 54% of you say yes, and 46% of you say no. We want to keep hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. A man accused of assaulting a 77-year-old man Monday night is in police custody. The assault happened in the 3000 block of East Red River here in Victoria. Seen here is the suspect, 37-year-old Angel Martinez, being placed into custody. He's facing an assault charge this morning. Police say Martinez also had an outstanding warrant for possession of drug paraphernalia. We brought you a story last week about multiple fires that broke out simultaneously in Wharton County. A major fire broke out at a grain warehouse that day, and it was contained by the El Campo Volunteer Fire Department. The El Campo Leader News reports that on top of that fire, they also fought 2 vehicle fires, assorted grass fires, checked concerns over a possible structure fire, and assisted medics at 2 vehicle crashes. It's a long day. The volunteers faced triple-digit heat with numbers in the 110-degree-plus range. None of the firefighters were hurt. And here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record. The city of Cuero approved a new tax rate. Texas A&M honoring Cuero philanthropists Dr. Phyllis and Steve Canyon. And Dave Shabazz is the new publisher of the Cuero Record and the Yorktown News View. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com. The time is now 6:46 on your Thursday morning. Still to come, an opioid manufacturer backing down on its promise to pay billions of dollars to those harmed by the opioid crisis. Okay, time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Camden. Happy 9th birthday to our first grandchild. Have a great day, Camden. Grandma, Marcia, and Grandpa Adam, love you. And happy 18th birthday, big number, 18th birthday to Elise. Enjoy your big day. And superstar comedian Dave Chappelle with a birthday today. He's 50. To see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com. Click on more, and under home you'll see KBU. Submit your birthday. The time is now 6:47 on your Thursday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And welcome back. For your Friday, we are looking at a 30% chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms. High temperature 101. Those heat index values are going to stay well in the hundreds, 110 to 112 degrees all the way through the weekend. Unfortunately, Saturday and Sunday, though, we do have 20% chances of rain. There'll be more of the afternoon variety type showers developing with the sea breeze. Then notice on Monday and Tuesday, 30 to 40% chance of rain. That is the result of the approach of that front. And then the temperature still staying in the hundreds, though. So it's not a cold front, it is just a front. And then those rain chances bumping back down to 20% on Wednesday as we expect that front to fizzle out. But notice the low temperatures staying in the mid 70s, but dropping a little bit after that front gets closer to us. That's because the drier air is going to allow those low temperatures to get down a little bit. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Scott. An opioid manufacturer is backing down on its promise to pay $1.7 billion to those harmed by the opioid crisis. Mallinckrodt Pharmaceuticals, one of the largest generic opioid manufacturers in the U.S., previously agreed to pay the money out over 8 years to state and local governments and people who filed lawsuits against the company. But in a regulatory filing this week, Mallinckrodt said it had filed for bankruptcy yet again. The second time in 3 years, the company is now asking to make a final payment of just $250 million. That request still needs to be approved by the bankruptcy court. The Justice Department filed suit against the company in 2019, charging that it knowingly paid illegal kickbacks as part of an elaborate scheme to make millions of dollars and stick taxpayers with the bill. Still to come on Sunrise News to Know Before You Go. Multiple people dead and several others hurt following a shooting at a Southern California bar on Wednesday night. The National Weather Service issues an excessive heat warning for one area county, Lavaca County, under an excessive heat warning from noon until 9 o'clock tonight. The National Weather Service says heat index values up to 112 degrees are expected. Multiple people are dead and several others hurt following a shooting at a Southern California bar on Wednesday night. Authorities arrived at Cook's Corner Biker Bar in Trabuco Canyon around 7:30 p.m. after the shooting was reported. 4 people were reported dead at the scene, including the shooter. 6 others were transported to local hospitals. 5 of whom had gunshot wounds. Their conditions are currently unknown. Authorities say the man believed to have carried out the shooting is a former law enforcement officer who targeted his wife. His name or the agency where he previously worked is not released. It's not clear why the gunman opened fire. Investigators are looking into what caused the driver to crash near Riverside Park last night. While the cause is under investigation, authorities did say speed was a factor. A 16-year-old girl who was a passenger in the vehicle suffered minor injuries and was taken to DeTar Hospital. The driver of the vehicle was arrested, but on charges that appear to be unrelated to the crash. Authorities say 22-year-old Anthony Estrada is facing a charge of intoxication assault, and he was also taken to an area hospital, but not for injuries that he may have sustained in the crash. Authorities say this is an ongoing investigation. Brian Kohberger, the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students last November, has waived his right to a speedy trial. During Kohberger's status hearing held on Wednesday, he waived his right to a speedy trial, ultimately delaying the original trial start date. Kohberger is facing the death penalty and was set to start his trial on October 2nd. However, Kohberger's attorney told the judge she does not believe that his case will be ready by that initial trial date. The judge accepted Kohberger's motion to waive his right and vacated the original date. A new trial date can be scheduled during Kohberger's September 1st hearing. Kohberger has pled not guilty to stabbing Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Ethan Chapin to death at their apartment on King Road. A 75-year-old man is charged in the disappearance of a 5-year-old girl in Queens, New York. Franz Villa is charged with kidnapping, criminal sex act, unlawful imprisonment, and acting in a manner to injure a child. It all started at a grocery store Tuesday morning. Police say the girl asked her mom to go to the park, but she said no. And for some reason, she let Villa, a man she barely knew, take the child. The mother later called 911 when she couldn't get a hold of them. Police searched with police dogs and by helicopter, and nearly 8 hours after that call, several Good Samaritans saw the man and a child by a subway station. He was questioned and charged overnight. Double billing, rejected automatic payments, and expensive late fees are the most frequent complaints about a toll system with different operators and rules across the Lone Star State. Read the story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And we have time for a final check of our forecast with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Scott Pitney.
Thank you, Carolina. Your marine forecast for Florida. Connor, high tide at 6:25, low tide at 6:18 p.m. Those winds out of the east 5 to 10 miles per hour, seas 2 to 3 feet. Bay waters choppy. If you are headed down the coast, expect a wake up temperature at Port Lavaca at 80 degrees, 94 by noon, 4 p.m., 96 degrees, and your sunset temperature in Port Lavaca 88 degrees. A little bit warmer in Cuero, waking up to 79, 97 by noon, 103 by 4 p.m., and your sunset temperature in Cuero at 92 degrees. For Victoria, 30% chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms for tomorrow, 20% for Saturday and Sunday, and then of course increased rain chances for Monday and Tuesday with the approach of that front. Hopefully we'll all get some rain out of that, and those rain chances go down to 20% on Wednesday. Plenty of sunshine, high temperatures staying in the hundreds, low temperatures in the mid 70s and to the mid to low 70s after the passage of that front. Hopefully we'll get a little bit drier air with that front. Carolina, back to you.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget about that peach pie, and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join James, Don, Mac, and Gino today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.